I've got one of these McAllister workbenches and they really are very, very good. They come with two clamps that slot in these grooves here and they're really handy, but I really want some toggle clamps to go on the top here. So I've decided I'm going to try and make some. So these are the parts that I'm going to need to make these toggle clamps. We've got 4 toggle clamps, they're readily available online. I think I paid something like £12.60 or something for these 4. You can get them much cheaper than these, but these are quite heavy duty ones. I've got 4 6mm wing nuts, 4 washers, 4 Coates bolts, and they're a 6mm thread. And then in order to provide something for these things to pull against to clamp, like a vice action, you can either go for wide washers, and obviously you'll need 4 of them if you decide to go for wide washers. You can actually use a piece of wood should you so desire, and I'll show you how to do that. But I'm intending to cut a section off this box section and make 4 fittings to go on the bottom. So I'll be using a welding set to put these clamps together. If you don't have a welding set, then by all means continue watching the video, but you won't be able to make the clamps. So the first thing to do is to cut this head off all 4 Coates bolts. Now we've got 4 lengths of 6mm stud bar. The next step is to weld these onto the bottom of the toggle clamps. Conveniently, these toggle clamps have actually got an indentation there that's going to make it quite easy to weld them on. Welding is something I do once in a blue moon. I've never been taught how to weld. I do know the basics, but my welding is pretty poor really, so for any welders out there, I apologise before I even start. I'm going to tack weld the thread onto the clamp first and then square it off once I've tack welded it on. That's the plan. Once it's squared off, then I'm going to weld it on properly. This doesn't have to be perfect, just something like... So I reckon that's about right there. So now I'll just finish off welding it. That's the first one done. I'll do the other 3 and then we'll carry on with the process. So I've cut off a small length of that box section. I'm going to convert this now into 4 pieces that I'll use at the bottom of the clamps. I'm going to tidy them up now, drill a hole through the centre, and then that will be the clamps finished. There we go, that's them centre punched. I'm going to drill through them now. So that's all the component pieces of the clamp. We've got the toggle clamp at the top with the thread, piece of mild steel, washer, wing nut. Now I appreciate that working with mild steel is not so easy, so there are other alternatives. We've got the large washer there, which will do exactly the same thing, but you don't have as much width on it, so you can maybe go for a larger washer than that. If you can get hold of them, you need 4 of them, or even easier is to use a piece of wood. It took me about 5 minutes to knock up that piece of wood, so 3 alternatives there. Let's see if it works. See no reason why it shouldn't. Obviously you can adjust the length of this thread if you don't want to go through the arduous process of unscrewing it, but I'm not really looking for miracles, I'm just looking for a clamp, and I'll settle for having to take a minute or 2 to fit them onto the worktop. That's nice and tight. Let's try the wooden one. With this one being a lot bigger, you don't really need to worry what the base is doing. You just screw it up. There we go. And let's see if this washer is any good as well. There we go. So is it going to work, I wonder? I think the answer to that is obviously yes. That's rock solid. The bench isn't rock solid, unfortunately, because because my garage floor is not so good, but that is rock solid. I think we'll clamp sort of 1 inch planed wood, and I don't think it's going to do that without bending. It won't do that without bending the handle. It'll go to about a 1/2 inch, I reckon. So if you want to clamp thicker stock, because you can see that that's pulled all the way up, there's no play left there, you just need to make a wooden spacer to go underneath. That allows you to clamp wood that's thicker. So there we go, I've made some toggle clamps for my workbench. I reckon about an hour to knock these together. It was slowed down by the filming really. I think they're about £12.60 for the 4 toggle clamps. Coates bolts are dirt cheap, so you can pick them up off eBay or anywhere. Washers and wing nuts, again dirt cheap. You might be able to get them, you know, in packs of 5 or 6 or something like that. Making the bottoms of the clamps, well, that's just up to you. Wood, metal, you can buy washers. There are several different alternatives, and if you just apply yourself to it, I'm sure you can come up with even better ideas than these. They're just the first things that came into my mind. Anyway, I hope you found that useful, and thank you for watching.